Hey guys, welcome to TLC Talk. So I'm your host today. My name is Yadira, but I go by Yadi. I'm one of the occupational therapists here at TLC, and I specialize in feeding. So that leads us into what we're going to talk about today. The way that we approach feeding here at TLC is we do more of a sensory base as far as occupational therapy goes. And the model that we use is SOS, the SOS approach to feeding. And you might be thinking like, hey, what is SOS? So not only does it stand for Save Our Ship, but what we talk about here is it's called sequential oral sensory. So this approach focuses on the whole child. So it encompasses all factors involving the organ systems, the muscles, not only externally, but also inside the mouth. This 8 sensory systems, learning their learning history or their style of learning or their capacity to even learn, as well as developmental milestones, their nutritional status or their nutritional history, as well as their environment. The SOS philosophy is that children learn best through play, and that is one of the biggest things that here at TLC that we do best is we're very child-led. So we make it fun, exciting, and we don't want to feel like making the child feel like any pressure. So that's the way we approach feeding here at TLC. SOS has 32 steps to eating, and these steps we definitely praise kids for going each step. The biggest ones are tolerating food, interacting with food, like as far as smelling, touching, tasting, and essentially we'll get to eating. So we celebrate any of those little steps that they graduate towards. Some of the home strategies that I like to give parents heads up about, or just like a home exercise program kind of thing, is, you know, kind of just structuring a mealtime at home where it comes to just like either just setting up a new plate, whether it be placemats, or whether it be like a certain time where everybody comes and eats. So think about more of a Thanksgiving meal. I usually give this example to everybody where everybody kind of serves themselves. So you have all your plates around the table and everybody serves their own plate. That way the child has the control of how much they're serving themselves. And that's a great strategy. So even if you have a child they have their own plate and their special plate that they only eat every day, or certain foods that they only eat and that you guys are preparing for something different, they have the control of only taking just a little piece or having a learning plate next to them. That's also a great strategy, just so they can go through these steps, tolerating it visually. That's very important, and that way they don't feel that pressure, but it's there, and they're totally trying to get all those sensory processing steps into their normal environment at home. Another great strategy for you guys to use at home is just modeling good feeding behavior. So whether it's like over exaggerating certain bites, that's really good for them. That way they're getting it at home, they're seeing parents do it, seeing siblings do it. Just make it fun, less stressful for them. And overall, just try to not punish a child at home for food and just focus more on like the food properties themselves. Like, what does it look like? Be explorers, be scientists, whatever you can make it tap into their imagination. And that because if we punish a kid at the table, it suppresses their appetite, because they go into a fight or fight mode and they just lose their appetite in general. So we try to tend to steer away from that, just so they don't feel stressed out, and then they can have more of an enjoyable mealtime at home. Also, there's a great SOS parent workshop. It is about 2 hours long, but it's a great one. We can put that in the link below. Preventing food jags is also very, very important. So what is a food jag? A food jag is when you give a child the same food every day and they get, all of a sudden they just drop that food. They get so tired of it that they don't want to eat it. So a way to prevent a food jag is that you can present the same food just like every other day instead of the same day. That way they have a different routine with that food, and they don't exacerbate that food. And those are just great strategies so you guys can take at home. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or anything that has to do with feeding, please feel free to reach out, call, ask for me. Other than that, you guys have an awesome day.